Procrastination. We have a word for this. Laziness, lack of discipline, poor time management. We are told to wake up earlier, to make better lists, to hack our brains. We are convinced the problem is our system. But what if the problem isn't the system? What if it's not laziness at all? What if that heavy, sinking feeling, that invisible weight that pins you to a chair even when you know exactly what to do, is something else entirely? This is the modern boulder. It's that business plan you know is brilliant. It's that difficult conversation you keep avoiding. It's that very first blank page of the novel you've dreamed of writing your entire life. It feels impossibly heavy. And in our hyper-productive, hustle culture, we feel ashamed of this weight. We believe we are the only ones failing, the only ones uniquely broken. But this isn't a 21st century bug. It's not a flaw in your software. It is one of the oldest stories we have. An ancient, existential curse.
Let's be clear. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It is an emotional regulation problem. Psychologically, when you face a task you find threatening, your brain's fear center, the amygdala, activates. This task might threaten your self-worth. What if I fail? What if I try my hardest and it's still not good enough? What if they laugh at me? And here is the paradox. We don't just fear failure. We also fear success. Success means new responsibilities. It means people will expect more from you. It means you have to maintain that success. The pressure is immense. So faced with the two terrifying possibilities of total failure or overwhelming success, our brain chooses a third option: nothing. We choose the temporary relief of scrolling, of napping, of researching. We choose to not push the boulder, because if you never really try, you can never really fail.
This brings us to ancient Greece, to the story of a king named Sisyphus. Sisyphus was cunning. He was clever. In fact, he was so clever, he cheated death twice. First, by tricking Thanatos, the god of death, and chaining him up. For a time, no one on earth could die. Second, after being dragged to the underworld, he tricked Hades into letting him return to the world of the living, promising he'd come back. He lied. The gods were furious, not just at his trickery, but at his arrogance. His punishment had to be eternal, and it had to be a perfect reflection of his crime. He was condemned to push a boulder up a mountain, only to watch it roll back down just before he reached the summit. Forever. The gods believed this was the ultimate punishment. Why? Because it was meaningless. There is no win state, no game over, just the push, the slip, and the descent back to the bottom. Does this sound familiar? This is our loop. We start the week full of motivation. We push Monday, Tuesday. By Friday, we're near the top, but then we get distracted. We burn out. The weekend comes and we do nothing. And on Monday morning, the boulder is right back at the bottom of the hill.
There is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide. In 1942, in the darkest days of World War II, The philosopher Albert Camus wrote an essay called The Myth of Sisyphus. He looked at the story of ultimate meaninglessness and came to a shocking conclusion. He argued that Sisyphus is the absurd hero. He's absurd because his task is pointless. He's a hero because he knows it's pointless, and he does it anyway. Camus focuses on the moment after the boulder has rolled down. This is the moment of consciousness. Sisyphus walks down the hill. He's not chained. He could, in theory, refuse, but he doesn't. In this moment, he is superior to his fate. By acknowledging the absurdity of his task, by choosing to walk back down that hill and push again, he robs the gods of their victory. The punishment was supposed to make him miserable. But what if he chooses to find meaning in the struggle itself? Camus ends his essay with one of the most powerful lines in all of philosophy. The struggle itself toward the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy.
You are not Sisyphus. Your tasks are not meaningless, but we treat them like they are. We treat them as just an obstacle on the way to the top. We tell ourselves, I will be happy when I graduate. I will be happy when I get the promotion. I will be happy when this project is done. And in doing so, we become Sisyphus. We make the pushing, which is 99% of our lives, a miserable hell. So, how do we imagine Sisyphus happy? First, we rebel by starting. The 5-minute rule. Just push the boulder for 5 minutes. That's it. The rebellion is in the act, not the outcome. Second, we find our absurd joy. We stop focusing on the summit and learn to love the push. Love the feeling of typing. Love the feeling of solving a hard problem. Find joy in the struggle itself. Your procrastination is not laziness. It is a fear of the push. It is a sign that you have forgotten why you chose this boulder in the first place. Your boulder is your life's work. It is your relationship. It is your health. It is heavy, and it will never be finished. Stop waiting to be happy at the summit. Choose to be happy on the climb. What boulder are you learning to love? Share your story in the comments below. And if this resonated, subscribe for more philosophy for modern life.